Let's catch up now with One Nation leader Pauline Hanson, who joins us from Queensland. Good to talk to you, Pauline. I thought we'd start off with the breaking news that we got out of Melbourne today. Tom Connell brought it to us. Let's have a look how Tom Connell shared this news earlier this afternoon.
What would he need in the remaining absent votes to be able to win? 63%. That is just far too high an outperformance from everything else that has happened in this election. So we're assuming lots of positives for Bandt from here, and he still would need 63%. So given that, I know there's plenty of vote left, we are now saying the Labor Party will pick up the seat of Melbourne, and Adam Bandt, the Greens leader, will lose the seat of Melbourne.
What do you reckon, Pauline? There is a God. Adam Bandt, the Greens leader, kaput.
Well, Chris, just quietly between you and I was getting ready to come onto your program when I heard the news. And I couldn't help it. I did a dance around the house in my bra and knickers, and I had to have a gin and tonic. So I am so excited. That's the best news I've heard.
I'm waiting.
Fantastic.
I'm waiting for this to turn up on TikTok or something in a moment. Why does it please you so much?
Home alone. I'm home alone. Honestly, Chris, their policies, you know, they want to dish out the money. We're going to actually have all the wind turbines, but they have no qualm about destroying hundreds and thousands of hectares of pristine forest in Australia to put up their wind turbines, or covering land with these solar panels. They want to give money to all these people, handouts. They're not good economic managers. They run the country into the ground. They're un-Australian. They won't open up the borders. They want to give more money to foreign aid, Runwa, all these things. They're absolutely hopeless. I work with them on the floor of Parliament. I can't stand what comes out of their mouth. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're so extreme to the left.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. You know, they want to legalise the hard drugs, but ban cigarettes and what else. But the one thing where I find them morally repugnant is their attitude to Israel and Jewish Australians. They've been terrible there at fanning the hatred, and good riddance to Adam Bandt. I can't wait to see that confirmed by the AEC. While we're talking about election results, of course, you're waiting to see whether your daughter gets into the Senate in Tasmania. Lee Hanson there looking like tipping out potentially Jacqui Lambie. What's your latest mail on that? Who's more likely to win that seat?
It's very hard to call at this time because we've got postal votes to come in. And of course, if Libs get over their quota, which I don't think they'll hit their second quota, so therefore it's going to go to the preferences. So Libs, the National Party in Tasmania, gave One Nation their second preference. So, Chris, it's really down to the wire, plus also a couple of the other parties, Libertarians plus the Shooters, gave One Nation their second preference. We'll see where we get it with the other ones, Trumpet of Patriots, where people put their preferences. It's all going to come down to preferences. So I'm not going to call it. I couldn't call it, possibly. But anyway, all the seats, even in Western Australia, in New South Wales, I think that we've still got a chance there to possibly pick up a Senate seat, but it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah,
it takes a while dishing out all those preferences in the Senate count. Here is Lee Hanson earlier during the campaign speaking to Andrew Bolt.
I feel like I don't have a choice anymore. I need to stand up. I need to do this for my children and our children's future, because I don't see a successful future for them, and it has me greatly concerned.
So we'll have to wait a number of weeks to see whether or not we get that mother-daughter team in the Senate. But here's what Jacqui Lambie said about this threat from One Nation on election night coverage.
Has it been one of the harder campaigns for you, being up against Lee Hanson?
No, I haven't even looked at Pauline. I just do the job down here. I don't put her as a distraction.
Yeah, all right, so she's ignoring you, Pauline, and One Nation, and I suppose Lee by extension as well. What's your assessment of Jacqui Lambie? I mean, obviously you want your own candidate, who happens to be your own daughter, to win that seat, but has Jacqui Lambie been useful in the Senate? Do you support what she's been doing?
No, I don't. About 80% of the time, she votes with the Greens mainly, or the Labor Party. She didn't have it. She had no idea about the ABCC bill that we passed, and actually, she said to me after Parliament started again, she said, "You're right not to support the ABCC bill, that's Australian Building Construction." She said, because I hope Labor don't get rid of it, which they did. So she doesn't have any idea. She doesn't really look into the policies. She's been guided by the staff in her office. You know, Lee only had a 4-week campaign. That's all she had. Jacqui Lambie's been in there since 2013. So if Lee had run more of a campaign, Jacqui had no booths. She had no lower house candidates to stand. She did no work down there. People are so disgruntled with her, and she's against the salmon industry. She's thrown out the the baby with the bathwater without, going consulting, find what can we do to save 5,000 workers to do with the salmon industry.